Russell Martin criticizes Rangers players' ego after draw. Pride comes before a fall, and Rangers manager Russell Martin isn't mincing words about what's holding his team back. In a fiery post-match critique, Martin tore into his squad's mentality after a last-gasp 87th-minute equalizer from Motherwell's Emmanuel Longolo snatched away what should have been a routine victory. But here's where it gets controversial. Martin claims the real issue isn't tactics or skill. It's ego. Speaking to Sky Sports, the former Southampton boss didn't hold back. "We were lucky to escape with a point. Motherwell outplayed us, plain and simple. When things get tough, some players switch to self-preservation mode, jogging through plays, making selfish decisions. That's unacceptable at this club." Martin, who took charge at Rangers just 3 months ago, emphasized a recurring theme. There's a pattern here. When everything's smooth, we're united. But under pressure, too many individuals hide behind their egos instead of fighting for the team. A match started promisingly for Rangers. Captain James Tavernier nearly opened the scoring with a 25-yard free kick. In the 4th minute, while Brazilian striker Danilo rattled the crossbar later in the first half. When Tavernier finally broke through with a header off a corner, his 131st goal for the club, it seemed Rangers would cruise to victory. But here's the twist most fans missed. Their defensive fragility kept Motherwell in the game. Goalkeeper Jack Butland's shaky handling nearly gifted Motherwell an early equalizer, foreshadowing the late collapse. As the clock ticked down, Longello's clinical finish exposed Rangers' lack of urgency, a moment Martin called symptomatic of a deeper problem. In his press conference, he doubled down. "This isn't about formations or training drills. It's about heart. When players choose anxiety or selfishness over teamwork, we're doomed." And this is the kicker. Martin openly challenged his squad's commitment, stating, "If you're not all in every second, you won't be here long." Meanwhile, Motherwell's new manager Jens Berthel Askew, a former Norwich teammate of Martin, watched his side grow into the game, with defender Johnny Cotrumbus setting up Longello's equalizer in a move that left Rangers' defense flat-footed. Only a last-ditch save from Butland in stoppage time spared Rangers an embarrassing loss. But the drama didn't stop there. In a parallel controversy, Kilmarnock manager Stuart Kettlewell slammed a soft red card shown to George Stanger during their 2-2 draw with Livingston. Stanger was dismissed for tugging Robbie Muirhead's shirt, a decision Kettlewell called debatable at best. His frustration echoed a growing debate. Are referees too quick to punish physicality in modern football? So here's the question. Is Martin right to blame egos for Rangers' struggles, or is this a deflection from tactical shortcomings? And where's the line between protecting players' confidence and holding them accountable? Share your take. Is this tough love what Rangers need, or a recipe for locker room chaos? Rangers' Russell Martin slams players after disappointing draw. When a manager destroys his own players just 270 minutes into the job, you know something explosive is brewing at Ibrox. Russell Martin has just delivered one of the most scathing public assessments of Rangers players in recent memory, and it's only his 3rd match in charge. After watching his team scrape a fortunate 1-1 draw against Motherwell in their Scottish Premiership opener, the new head coach didn't just express disappointment. He completely eviscerated his squad's mentality, effort, and attitude. But here's where it gets controversial. Was Martin right to publicly humiliate his players so early, or has he just made a catastrophic leadership mistake that could destroy his dressing room before the season even gets going? The draw at Fir Park marked Rangers' 3rd consecutive season failing to win their league opener. But this time felt different. This time, their manager emerged from the tunnel with both barrels blazing, ready to name and shame players he believes are sabotaging the club's ambitions. "We were fortunate to escape with even a single point," Martin declared, his frustration evident. "Our performance fell drastically short of acceptable standards, and I'm deeply disappointed and wounded by what I witnessed. Motherwell showed more courage than us. They displayed greater intensity and aggression than my team. The head coach's anger wasn't just about tactics or formation. It was about character. He identified what he called a fundamental mentality crisis plaguing the club, pointing fingers at players who prioritize self-preservation over team success. And this is the part most people miss. Martin didn't stop at general criticism. He got specific, targeting individual players without naming them directly. The issue I cannot tolerate is this. Regardless of our tactical setup, we were completely outmatched in terms of fighting spirit and bravery in crucial moments, he continued. We selectively choose when to perform at our best and when to exert maximum effort. During difficult periods, too many players prefer individual agendas and retreat into self-protection mode. Martin went further, suggesting this isn't just a current problem, but a deep-rooted cultural issue that has infected Rangers for years. This isn't about assigning blame to individual players, he explained. I believe this represents a persistent problem the club has endured over recent seasons. During successful periods, everything appears fine, but when adversity strikes, unity crumbles. The team lacks sufficient cohesion on the field. The manager then dropped what might be his most damaging assessment yet. I've communicated to the players that there's an established pattern at this football club, a tendency to fall back into old habits. When results are positive, everyone commits fully. When struggles emerge, players protect themselves first. You cannot represent this club while only embracing the pleasant moments. Total commitment is required constantly. But wait, it gets even more explosive. Martin identified specific players, though he refused to name them publicly. 2 individuals on the pitch today wanted to operate according to their own rules. When players choose to casually jog around and follow personal agendas, we face a serious crisis. Some individuals must abandon their inflated egos. The ultimatum was crystal clear. Players will be left behind if they refuse to adapt, because they must comprehend what representing this football club demands and what it truly means. Martin concluded his verbal assault with a stark warning. The sluggishness and lackadaisical attitude is completely unacceptable. This surprised me, though I'm more furious than shocked. Just days earlier, following Rangers' Champions League qualifying victory over Panathinaikos in Athens, Martin had praised his players, declaring he felt incredibly proud of their efforts. The dramatic shift in tone over 72 hours reveals just how deeply the Motherwell performance affected him. Expert analysts were stunned by Martin's public execution of his own squad. Former Rangers midfielder Derek Ferguson expressed serious concerns even before Motherwell's equalizer, commenting on BBC Sports Sound. Currently, Rangers are offering nothing in attack. It's genuinely concerning. I'm completely baffled by their tactical approach. I don't recognize any clear strategy. After Motherwell secured their well-deserved leveler, Ferguson added, I'm genuinely worried after witnessing that second-half display. These players still need to demonstrate their worth to the Rangers faithful. Former Rangers striker Chris Boyd was equally scathing on Sky Sports. We're witnessing identical problems repeating themselves endlessly. Yes, it's early in the campaign. We understand new signings will arrive and departures will occur. But the truly alarming aspect is his willingness to publicly criticize them so immediately. Even Chris Sutton, despite agreeing with Martin's assessment, was shocked by the timing and severity of the criticism. The former Celtic striker called the remarks absolutely extreme, questioning whether any manager had ever delivered such harsh public criticism after a season opener. For him to launch such an attack in the first league match, considering he observes them daily in training, he must consider them completely inadequate, Sutton analyzed. Why wasn't there more diplomatic balance? When have you witnessed a manager behave this way after the opening game? That was extreme beyond measure. The numbers tell a devastating story that supports Martin's fury. Motherwell's expected goals reached 2.21 compared to Rangers' measly 0.7, suggesting the home team deserved a comprehensive victory rather than a draw. Stuart Kettlewell's adventurous Motherwell side created 5 major scoring opportunities according to Opta statistics, while Rangers managed just 1. Here's the truly worrying statistic. Rangers have now faced 51 shots across their opening 3 matches this season. Despite conceding only twice, their opponents have accumulated a combined expected goals total of 5.58, a completely unsustainable defensive record that Martin recognizes better than anyone. The Rangers' support has delivered their own brutal verdict through social media reactions. Bill summarized the mood perfectly. Despite the early stage, "I'd be shocked if this Rangers squad challenges for the league title. Absolutely dreadful performance." Stevie offered sarcastic commentary. "Does anyone have paint drying on a wall? More entertaining than Russell Martin's tedious tactical approach?" George was equally damning. "Absolutely brutal. Martin appears completely clueless. No distinctive style, no clear direction, no visible quality." Graham captured the frustration of many supporters. "Different manager, different players, identical garbage from Rangers." Sarah highlighted a persistent weakness. "Typical Rangers behavior, unable to secure victories when leading." But here's the million-dollar question that's dividing opinion. Was Martin's public demolition job a necessary wake-up call that could transform Rangers culture? Or a devastating leadership blunder that will alienate his squad and destroy team morale? Some argue that previous Rangers managers have been too diplomatic, allowing a culture of complacency to fester. Perhaps Martin's brutal honesty is exactly what's needed to shock underperforming players into action. After all, if players are genuinely protecting themselves and doing their own thing, shouldn't that be called out publicly? Others contend that destroying player confidence after just 3 games shows poor man management and could create irreparable dressing room divisions. How can players perform with freedom and creativity when they know one poor performance might result in public humiliation? What's your take on Martin's explosive rant? Was this a masterclass in tough love leadership, or did the new Rangers boss just commit managerial suicide by throwing his own players under the bus? Should managers ever publicly criticize their teams this harshly, or does it show he's already lost control of his squad? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this controversy is far from over, and Rangers fans deserve to have their voices heard in this heated debate. Motherwell, 1-1, Rangers. Late equalizer sparks boos as Rangers drop points in opening day clash. A dramatic draw, Motherwell 1-1 Rangers. In a thrilling opening match of the Scottish Premiership, Russell Martin's Rangers faced a disappointing end as they were booed off the pitch after a late equalizer from Emmanuel Longello secured a 1-1 draw for Motherwell at Fir Park. The visitors initially took control of the game with a powerful header from James Tavernier in the first half, leaving Rangers in a strong position at halftime. They even came close to extending their lead when Danilo struck the crossbar. However, the tide turned after the break when new Motherwell manager Jens Berthel Askau inspired his team to play with renewed vigor. They became increasingly threatening, culminating in Longello's impressive strike into the bottom corner following a clever layoff from Elijah Just. Motherwell nearly clinched a victory in stoppage time, but Jack Butland made a crucial save to deny Tom Sparrow, highlighting the home side's resurgence. After the match, Martin expressed his disappointment, stating, "We were fortunate to leave with a point. Motherwell played exceptionally well, and we were far from our best. I feel hurt by our performance. They showed more bravery and aggression than we did." A troubling trend for Rangers. This result marks the 3rd consecutive season that Rangers have failed to win their opening match, a trend that Martin will be keen to reverse. The new head coach, following in the footsteps of Michael Beale and Philippe Clement, faced the harsh reality of his players being booed by their traveling supporters at the final whistle. This draw comes on the heels of a week where Rangers had successfully advanced in the Champions League qualifiers against Panathinaikos. Now, they must watch as Celtic takes on St. Mirren live on Sky Sports, giving the defending champions an early opportunity to gain an advantage in the title race. Warning signs ignored. Despite Rangers' dominance in the first half, there were clear warning signs that Motherwell could pose a threat. Butland's shaky performance was evident when he fumbled Longello's shot, nearly allowing Apostolos Stamatellopoulos to capitalize on the rebound. As the second half progressed, the momentum shifted dramatically. Just missed a golden opportunity to score when he failed to direct a header on target from Callum Slattery's cross. Nasser Giga made a vital block against Stamatelopoulos, who was also denied a chance to convert a loose ball in the box by John Souttar. Substitute Lyle Cameron's shot from a Rangers corner was easily saved by Callum Ward, but Motherwell continued to create more significant chances. Stamatelopoulos again missed the target with a header from Just's cross, showcasing the home side's determination. Ultimately, Motherwell's persistence paid off when Longolo's low drive found the corner of the net, leaving Butland with no chance and raising alarm bells for Rangers. Martin's call for change. In his post-match interview, Martin emphasized the need for a shift in mentality within the team. He stated, "We were lucky to get a point. Motherwell played great. We were nowhere near where we need to be. I'm extremely disappointed and hurt by that. They were braver than us. They were more aggressive than us. There seems to be a tendency at this club to revert to old habits. When things are going well, everyone is fully committed, but when challenges arise, self-preservation takes over. We need to be all in at all times. If players are just going through the motions, that's a significant issue. Some need to set aside their egos. This isn't just about tactics. It's a mentality problem. We got more than we deserve today." Analysis. Time for reflection. Sky Sports' Chris Sutton weighed in on the situation, stating, "Russell Martin needs time to implement his vision. The start is crucial, especially considering some fans are skeptical about his appointment." Rangers, who dropped 34 points behind Celtic last season, cannot afford to lose more ground in the title race. This draw represents another 2 points lost. Kudos to Motherwell for their brave performance. They may have conceded a poor goal, but they fought back valiantly in the second half and deserved their equalizer. Had it not been for Butland's late heroics, they might have even snatched a win. It's clear that Rangers have a lot of work ahead of them. Looking ahead, as the Scottish Premiership continues, both teams will be eager to build on this match. Fans can look forward to upcoming fixtures for both Motherwell and Rangers as they navigate the challenges of the season.